What is up, everyone? How's it going? How's it going? Couple minutes late. I apologize. Open up the laptop. It was dead. I didn't know it was dead, so I had to grab the charger. Come on out. So what is up? We already got comments flowing. That is so incredible, guys. So freaking incredible. So welcome to another live stream. I think we're like 3 for 3 now, 4 for 4, something like that on a Wednesday. Potentially no live stream next Wednesday. I'm either driving to Jambo, the Toyota Jamboree in Texas on that Wednesday, or like really preparing for it to leave super early Thursday morning. But what is up, everyone? Are you guys going to Jambo too? Let me know in the comments down below. So first time really going to an event like that. I'm going to be taking the Tacoma. Got a whole bunch of stuff to still install this week on it, doing like little bits here and there. The only crappy thing, and it's not crappy, it's enjoyable, but sometimes crappy, right? Like when it's a, what's the word? Time crunch, I guess, like this, is that it has to be filmed. It has to be documented, which kind of stinks. Sorry, I just got done with a run too. Which kind of stinks that it has to be filmed, but that's the blessing and the curse of doing YouTube as a job, right? It's a hobby, it's fun, it's great, but it's also a job too. So all the products that I got for this Tacoma, you know, when people sponsor them and stuff, they want content for it. So a lot of stuff to install, but when I install it, it has to be documented. Can't just throw it on and call it a day and go wheel and have fun. I will still have fun, but we got to document it all. So doing that this week, a lot of stuff, wrapping up some videos with the Forerunner too, the press vehicle Forerunner that I got. I just dropped one today. I know you guys in the live stream, you guys know pretty well like what I talk about with that 5th gen sometimes, but yep, kind of hinted at it with the rest of the viewers that don't really come to the live streams that we're thinking about selling that Forerunner right there. So that video dropped today, just showing that stuff, and lot of stuff planned. But what's up, everyone, going in here? That is a quick week recap. We got the Unrestricted in here. If you guys haven't seen his YouTube channel, go over there. If you all enjoyed Tacoma content, Omar's in here, Alan's in here. What's up, guys? Ricardo, how's it going? Ryan, MG, what's up? Alan, how's it going, everyone? How is it going? So if you guys are new to live streams or you haven't been in them before, don't feel shy to drop a question, right? It's a simple keyboard drop in a question. No one will know who you are. It's okay. If you're kind of shy, you could just put in a quick question onto your keyboard and we just talk about it for a little bit. I try to give everyone the amount of time that they deserve. You know, you guys are giving me your time on a Wednesday night. So if you ask a question, I will go in depth as possible with the question to give you guys hopefully a good answer. Once we start to get a lot of questions, some answers may be quick, or if we have some repeats, I'll briefly go over them. But yeah, just fire some questions away. So we'll start with the Unrestricted, guys. If you guys like Tacoma content, go over to his channel. Not sure if he's still in here. He posted this question at 2:21 p.m. So not sure if he's still in here, but good question. When the new Tacoma drops, what trim are you planning to get? That is a super good question, and I am very, very on the fence about 2 trims. Now, typical me would want to, I shouldn't say typical me. Part of me really wants to just get a TRD off-road. It depends on what they have to offer. But part of me just wants to get a TRD off-road, build it up, work with companies, put stuff on it, and just build it to be better than a TRD Pro. But I am curious if this new Tacoma, because like the current TRD Pro, like this one right here behind me, you can get a TRD off-road. It literally has all the multi-terrain select, the crawl control, the rear locker, everything that this truck has aside from suspension and looking cool, you can get in a TRD off-road. I am very curious with this new Tacoma if the TRD Pro will have even more than the TRD off-road will offer. And the reason I say that is because the new Colorado and the new GMC Canyon, they really have a lot to offer. And their trims are, you know, a little bit different here and there. But I am just curious. So I will answer that more once I get hands-on those vehicles and see what each trim has to offer. But as of right now, in my mind, I'm thinking a Tier D off-road. But if the Pro is just insanely more better, then I'll probably get a Pro. And if someone asks, hey, John, like, what are your plans with the truck? Then I'll elaborate more on that, because I could talk about that Tacoma forever. Maybe I'll just make a full video too on what my plans are for the 4th gen Taco. Sassy Pants, what's up? How's it going in here? Do you know if you were to upgrade this? Hold on, Jesus. Do you know if you upgrade to self-leveling air tow system on a Tundra, does it give a softer ride compared to the standard tow package? Is it a softer spring? Thanks. So if you're talking stock Toyota, if you're to upgrade to the ABS that the Toyota has for the Tundra, at least in my experience when riding some of the press vehicles, it was a little rougher sometimes. Like, you have to put it, like, really mess with it and put it into comfort mode and stuff. But the back bounces a lot because the airbags for them essentially replace the springs. But I think the best of both worlds is potentially just getting a truck without it and then adding an airbag system to it if you need it. And then really controlling your PSI from there. It'll still be a little bit rougher of a ride if you add, aftermarket airbags, but I think that is honestly the best way to go. That's what I would do. Terra. I've heard that a lot. Don't know what Terra is. But I mean, if Terra is like a brown or a green, that makes sense, because Toyota has showed us a green in the recent teaser and a brown also with the Trail Hunter. So if they're going with a very earthy tones, Terra would be a cool name. We'll see once it gets revealed, right? Min says, have you seen the new Relations race wheels? Did they give you a discount code? TRDJON does not work anymore. I believe it's TRDJON 5 on Relations race wheels. Let me check out my code real quick for you guys, if my notes app will open. I don't know why it's not opening, because I have all my discounts up in there. Oh my God. I'm about to throw this freaking computer. All right, that's not working. Hold on. It should work. If it doesn't, thank you for letting me know. I need to get with the owner of Relations Race Wheels and let him know that it doesn't work and that it's not tracking sales. That wouldn't be good. But Relations Race Wheels, it is 5% off, and it should just be TRDJON. So let me try that myself too. It's just TRDJON, just like that. So not sure why it wouldn't work. But if you're trying it on the new wheels, like the mono forged ones, I know that those were running at a sale and the code may not work with those. So I'll try it on other wheels, but I don't know if my code will work at the moment with those new wheels, because he's selling them very, very cheap. Regular price, I believe, per those mono forged wheels are about $400. And I know that he was selling them a lot cheaper for the launch of those wheels. So my code may not work for that, but I will still check my code for other wheels. Thank you for letting me know that. What's up, everyone? Alan, how's it going? How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. Omar says, when are you driving the Toyota Grand Highlander and complete to other in its class? Not sure what that last bit is meaning, Omar, but I get to drive the Toyota Grand Highlander very soon, next month, actually. So we will get driving impressions of it then. Not sure when the embargo lifts, though, for that, when we'll be able to talk about our driving impressions. But the event is set for next month, which is crazy because we're 5 days away from May, or 6 days away from May, which is insane. MG, what's up, man? From Northern California. How's it going? Ryan, what is up? What is up? Ready for Jambo? You know it, dude. I am ready for Jambo. How's it going? John, do you have any other inside info on the new color? I'm thinking it may be more like a brown earthy color. So of the two pros, well, I shouldn't say pros, but of the I'm sorry if I'm out of it, guys. Like, I really sprinted like the last bit of my run. Oh my God. I'm not the best at reading anyways, but it's crazy right now. Anyways, so the colors that we've seen are that Trail Hunter. It's like a brown. And then also that green. So that green to me, there's a green on Lexus. It's not the Nori green, but they had a different type of green on one of their cars, and I forget the name of it, but it looked very, very similar to that. And it's not quite like an Imperial Jade mica or anything that dark, at least on that color. Now, a lot of these teasers that we get from Toyota and stuff, a lot of them are kind of Photoshopped too, right? So like if you look closely at them, I mean, maybe this truck is just like in a warehouse somewhere, right? Like they're not going to go way out in the mountains and uncover it unless they really did. I don't know. But like a lot of these are also Photoshopped, so we don't know lighting, if it's like studio lighting or anything like that. So no insider information at all. Saturday will be the best day at Jambo for events. The Rock Garden event is awesome, as well as Blind Man Corner, which I've seen videos on both, and that's just insane. The raffle ain't bad either, but be prepared to meet lots of cool ass people. That is awesome. Yeah, no, I can't wait for Jambo. I've been to an Overland Expo. I've been to Destination Outdoor a couple times, which the Overland Expo is a bigger event, but it's just more of like off-road SEMA. Destination Outdoor is very cool as well, but it is definitely a smaller event, and it's really only like one day, 2-ish. But Jambo, I'm super excited for. Kind of like nervous a little bit, but very excited for. And the only reason I'm nervous is just because it's unfamiliar like location, which I don't do good in those type of places, but it's whatever. I'll get over it. And then the other thing is that I'm doing a complete like project is done getting built, and then I'm living in it for 4 days. But going with a group of people, going with the dudes from Yoda Mafia up there, we're convoying, and it's going to be a fun time, man. I can't wait to meet a whole bunch of people, just BS, talk, off-road, go to the vendors and stuff, eat some food, campfires, all that. It's going to be awesome. It's really going to be like my first overland event, because I've said this in other videos and I've talked with, friends and stuff in like the community about it. But like, just because I own Toyotas and like lift them and make them look cool and put the roof racks on it, for some reason my channel like really gets associated with overland stuff, and I get like dogged on because, oh, John, you don't overland, why do you do this? It's like, oh my god, like it's not a new concept to make a truck look cool, but like this whole just overland mindset of, it's certain people, I'm not blaming everyone, I'm not blanketing everyone, but it's like, well, why do you do this if you're not going to overland, blah blah blah. It's like, because I freaking don't, like, sorry. But what I'm getting at is this is like my first real time using my vehicle and building it for a specific purpose and overlanding with it, which is going to be awesome. And that leads into like the 4th gen Tacoma, right? Like I really want that build to be something special, like get the truck, road trip the United States with it, go get a camper shell for it or something like that, build it up, go to all these companies like that I've worked with in the past, like literally road trip R&D with that truck. I think it would be awesome. That's my plan in my mind with the new Tacoma. I think that would be really cool, but it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for the event. Solid Wolf, how's it going? Welcome on in. Thanks for commenting on the other video that I just posted a lot. I appreciate it. That Tacoma grill makes it look like the Sequoia in electric lime. That would be cool. That is really true, because the grill of the Tacoma is very, very similar to the Sequoia. Like the way it wraps down in here and stuff all through here. Again, I wish that was blacked out, but it really does look like the Sequoia, right? It looks really good. I really, really like this grill a lot. And even to like the Tundra, like just with that heritage style up there, I do like it. But Yodaverse did say they're making a black inserts for this eventually too. And then also one with a camera mount. And a lot of people ask where the heck my camera is. My camera's like way up in there, zip tied right now. It's all good. The camera's like not the best anyway, so who really cares? Michael says, I have a 2023 Forerunner. I am looking to get a TRD Pro grill with the Raptor lights. Where would be my best bet to find one? So Running for Tacos has some. Yodaverse, I know they have a lot of different grills. Taco Vinyl, like there's a lot of those companies out there that sell not OEM Toyota grills, like their replica ones, but those would be your best bets for those. Trail Standard Off-Road, I believe they have some too. Hopefully my signal's okay. It keeps telling me like 1 bar for Wi-Fi. What do you think the pricing will look like on the new Tacoma? I think it's going to be anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 more than the MSRP right now. If the Tundra was anything to show us, the new Sequoia anything to show us what the new Tacoma is going to be like, I think that that is a good indicator. Depending on models, $5,000 to $8,000. Newer models like the Trail Hunter could be significantly higher. The Trail Hunter for the Tacoma may just sit above the TRD Pro in pricing just because it has a lot of other accessories to it. So it just depends. Are you going to become a Toyota dealer? Your wife's going to kill you. No, I'm not. We're going to be getting rid of a couple vehicles soon. When I got the Tacoma, I said that this one's shelf life was going to be about 6 months, maybe longer, if y'all started to enjoy the Tacoma content or if I wanted to camp more. So the Tacoma always had a shelf life of about 6 months. The Sequoia, really thinking about letting that go right now just to free up some money as well, like monthly. Just not that like we can't do it, but I would just rather spend that money on rental properties right now. Basically, what we're trying to do is gear up in case certain markets in the United States start to slow down a little bit and real estate prices come down, and look to invest into those markets. So trying to get a little bit of cash on hand. The Forerunner is pretty much built as much as I want to do that Forerunner. The Sequoia, as much as I enjoy driving the Sequoia and as much as my wife enjoys driving the Sequoia, I've gotten some offers over what I paid for it, and I kind of be dumb to not take that and free up some cash. But she won't kill me. She knows that it's a hobby. She knows that I enjoy it, knows that it is a stream of income for us, right? And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy being able to make these videos of all the vehicles. I just did a post on the community tab. If you guys haven't voted for that yet, go ahead and go over there and vote. But like I asked you guys, and I want to see where it's at right now, but I asked you guys what your favorite vehicle of mine is, like which one you guys enjoyed content with the most, right? So if you guys don't know, I have 4 Toyotas. It's kind of ridiculous, but I try to make content on a lot of them. Not a lot of content on the Sequoia as much as like I thought that I was going to make, just because my wife's driving the crap out of it. But looking at the post right now, we have 2,900 votes. And 36% said Forerunner, 27% said Tacoma, which is very nice, and 25% said Tundra, and the Sequoia is now down to 12%. So obviously, you know, if you're plucking the low-hanging fruit, the Sequoia seems to not be doing that good on the channel. Not sure if that's just because I don't make weekly content with it. My wife just drives it a lot for real estate and stuff. It's hardly ever here because she's just going with it and stuff and whatever. And like we haven't road tripped with it because we have other things going on. So whatever. Didn't make as much content as I thought like I was out of the gate with the Sequoia. This new Tacoma, it's doing exactly what I thought it was going to do compared to the blue Tacoma that I had. People like that it's a pro. They like that it's a crazy color. I actually have all the parts, so people are enjoying that video. So that's at 27%. The Tundra, it's just awesome. And parts are coming for that. We got wheels coming, the new mono forged ones from Relations Race Wheels, like you guys said. I was going to do them in blue. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to find some or not, but I was going to do blue. Now, I know that's crazy because I was like, what the heck color should I do for the Tundra? Should I do like a mag gray or a bronze or a black or whatever? And then Relations Race Wheels just goes and posts the blue. And I'm like, that would be ridiculous. Should I just put the blue on the truck? And I was like, you know what? F it. I'm going to do blue on the truck. Who cares? And then they said, hey, John, we're out of blue. Like after the sale and stuff, they were out of blue. I was like, dang. So they do have bronze. So I believe that is what is coming my way is bronze, which I would not be upset with because bronze and magnetic gray, they're going to look super good together. It's the new mono forged wheels. They weigh under 20 pounds, which is just insanely light for truck tires. And then going back to that, then the Forerunner's at 36%, like it always is, because people just love the Forerunner. Solid Wolf says, you keeping up with the NBA playoffs, big Lakers game going on right now. I am sorry, guys. if you guys are into the NBA and you're watching me, you can turn me off. You can catch it later if you guys want to watch that. I personally don't keep up with a lot of sports. I like watching them every now and then, but I don't keep up with a lot of sports. When I lived in California, we did watch the Lakers a lot and stuff, but I just don't anymore for some reason. I do enjoy watching football sometimes. Baseball, I just wish their baseball season was shorter, but I think it's just because where I live, we don't have professional teams. Like when I lived in San Diego, I watched all the San Diego teams. When I lived in Phoenix, we went to the Diamondback games. I never got to go to a Cardinals game or a hockey game, really. But I just enjoyed like that area of sports. But where I live in Florida, we don't have it. So thinking about going down to Tampa, like I would really like to one day, maybe double life, live in Tampa, live in Phoenix, who knows? But they have all the teams down there too. They got hockey down there, baseball, football. We'll see how their team is this year, right? After Brady's gone. But their hockey team, the Lightning's really good. The Rays are pretty decent as well. I think they still are. They got basketball. They don't have basketball in Tampa, do they? I don't know. No worries. Tacoma have a happy face. Yep, it's happy, man. It's in the garage. The Tacoma's happy. Let's see. How far are we back on questions? We are pretty far. All right. So how's it going, everyone? Hey, John. So are you going to keep the Solar Octane Forerunner? So the Solar Octane Forerunner is actually a press vehicle for only a week, but I did just do a video about it as well, saying that I really, really like it. When's the RAV4 going to be or Highlander going to be redesigned? I don't think it's going to be redesigned for a few years. It got the new Toyota multimedia system in it, so I don't think that it's going to be redone anytime soon. And it got a new power plant too. Phil says, got the 2023 Tundra Limited with TRD package and 4-wheel drive and Lunar Rock. Love it. Freaking congrats, dude. And Lunar Rock is such a good color, man. It looks so good. How's it going from the PNW? What is up? Are you heading to the Overland Expo in PNW this year? I am not. I'm only going to be going to, the only West Coast one I'll be going to is the Overland Expo West in Flagstaff, Arizona. Nate, what's up, man? Ever thought of starting a podcast or being invited to be on one? So I was actually on one. If you guys want to listen to me on a podcast, it was all over the place. Like, it was cool. So when I sat down and do that podcast, like, you know, they do like a preliminary questions, ask kind of like what you want to talk about. What is this? What is that? They do like a little bit of background, just, you know, that strike conversation and do stuff. And it was Citizen J podcast that I was on. With Jillian, and like she was big in the Tacoma scene, like on Instagram, and now she has like other Fords and stuff, but she still has her Tacoma. So that was pretty cool. We just sat down, talked for like an hour or an hour and a half, I think it was, and like I'd like blacked out. Like we just talked, and I don't even remember exactly everything that I said, but we talked everything from like Toyotas and how YouTube gets started, and like real estate stuff, politics stuff. So we talked on that. So Citizen J podcast I was actually on. So I don't think I would start my own podcast just because I'm not the best at talking all the time, even though we just BS for like an hour on here. So but I wouldn't mind being on them. I think that it was fun to be on some. I've talked with creators and stuff at events that I go to, and they always say, hey, it'd be awesome to have you on the podcast. I'm like, cool, here's my email, and like it never goes anywhere. So, but I wouldn't mind. It was a good time. Spentitious says, wanting a 24 Tacoma, but if I'm going to spend that kind of money, thinking about ordering one with everything I want, even if it takes until 2025, maybe the first year kinks will get resolved. 100%. So hopefully Tacomas, they're Toyota's volume seller, like for the trucks, right? They sell a lot more than Tundra, a lot more than Sequoia, a lot more than Forerunner. So hopefully it's not this crazy like battle to get a truck. Hopefully. Now there are going to be a lot of people trading that, you know, aren't a typical yearly buyer for the Tacoma. There's going to be a lot of third gen people that may want it, a lot of second gen people that may want it, but I definitely agree with that. If you want a specific one with specific color, specific trim level, whatever it is, and you can't get it right away, and if freaking dealerships are marking it up for some reason, then yeah, wait. Like, and some first year kinks that will be worked out too. Nothing wrong with that. Greg, what's up, man? Dude, I know. I just looked at it the other day, and every day we are growing and growing and growing. We are close to 70,000. So there's this website that you guys can go on if you want to like snoop around to see how much like YouTubers get paid, their subscribers, all that stuff. It's called Social Blade. It's accurate, but like it's not crazy accurate. Excuse me. But you can go to predictions there, and I went to predictions just to see how like when I'll be at 100,000 subscribers, and it said January of 24. So I'm trying to beat that and be at 100,000 by the end of this year, which would be awesome. Now, the way YouTube is, it doesn't like, not that it doesn't mean anything anymore if you're at like 100,000, but like YouTube pushes your content to so many more people than your subscribers. But I just want to be at 100 subscribers, 100,000, just because like it's just like a big number, and it'd be cool. I would get the plaque. It's like it's a big milestone, and if we stay there, we stay there. That I'm fine with that. I don't want to be million subscribers, like having to go places, do speeches and autographs and all that stuff. I don't want that. I like the core community that we have, and I'm good with that. I want to just be at 100,000. That's it. But yeah, 70,000, super close. It may be tonight. It may be tonight or tomorrow. It'll be close. Nate says, what do you recommend in terms of rental property, vacation, Airbnb, or long-term leasing? So anything by the water. If you can get by the water for short terms, those are good, or lakes or mountains, just vacation destinations. A big popular thing that we're going to probably look into this year, like just my wife and I, aside from like the group that we're a part of, is couples retreats. Those are a big thing. So like couples, just like these small little 300 to 400 square foot studios, like in remote areas. Like those are a big thing for Airbnb right now. Super unique properties too. If you're doing more long-term leasing, just do it in places that have business coming in. So you'll always have kind of like a tenant, if that makes sense, right? So like me, where our house is in Arizona, it's right next to the base, the military base. It's right next to hospitals. It's in the West Valley of Phoenix, which is booming like crazy all the time. So whenever our house comes up for rent, it's usually filled within 3-4 days. Our house here that was a vacation rent, or was a long-term that we're now turning it into a vacation rental, it is right next to the base. It has a bunch of people here that were moving into Florida, so next to hospitals and stuff too. So big tourism area here, which people want to live closer to the tourism work versus driving. So yeah, not remote areas, areas that have positive growth, and definitely areas too that are like putting in warehouses, or like Amazon is coming in there for big future growth. You could go to like city planning sites and see some of the big things that are happening for cities. That is definitely a good way to do it as well, to just make sure that the city's going to have growth. Michael, what's up, man? One more question. John, can you do me a favor and send me those links when you got to my question? I didn't have a pen and paper. Whoa, what question was that again, Mike? Sorry. Let me scroll up. This is my short-term memory. Okay, you got it. So if you're still here, Mike, because this question is like 10 minutes old. Yodaverse, so where I did this grill, YOTAVERSE, and I have a code for them as well for 10% off. Let me look at it real quick. I think it's just TRDJON. Actually, let me see if I can put my link tree in here, because my link tree has like everything. Link tree. Login. Appreciate your patience, guys. Share. copy. All right, dude. So if you go to this link tree right here, and you guys can check it out too. I just updated it today, so it has like every single company that I like to work with, all my discounts and stuff too. It's all on that link tree. So the one that you're going to be looking for, Mike, is the Yodaverse one. They will have grills like this as well. Running for Tacos may have grills too on there, but the Yodaverse, if you use that code, I believe it's good for 10% off. So that is that. Ryan, yeah, I would sell the Sequoia if you're going to make some money on it. I like it, but is it practical for you guys? I mean, it's super practical. It's a nice big SUV, but it's not needed. It's not needed at all. Like I said, I thought I was going to make some more content on it. I just haven't yet. But it's all good. It's not like I have any attachment to it at all, and like it's going to be hard for me to sell. And if I want a Sequoia again, I'll just buy it in a couple years, or in 6-7 months. Maybe things turn around, and maybe we don't invest in some real estate property because they haven't gone down yet, or anything like that, or the world really changes in 6 months, and then maybe pick one up again in solar octane or a different color. Keep putting on aftermarket. I love it. My Taco is my police truck. Everyone I pull over, like, no way. That's insane. I know. People may think you're like an imposter cop or something like that. That's crazy. I think Toyota missed the mark with the Sequoia. It's small compared to its competitors, right? Seems like a very small market. I don't know. Like, I haven't been in a Tahoe in a while. I take that back. At the DC Auto Show, I was in a Tahoe and I compared it to the Sequoia, and it was about the same. Like, the back seats were a little bit different, but I honestly felt like I had more room in the Sequoia, like just the way that it was laid out compared to the Tahoe. So I kind of think that's, I don't know. I don't know. But there are some things with the Sequoia that other brands definitely do better. And then there's some things too that Toyota did with the Sequoia that are better than other brands. But I don't know. Toyota with their trucks, like with the Sequoia and the Tundra, they don't like build those to be the top of the segment, if that makes sense. They just build them for Toyota people, if that makes sense. Like, Toyota didn't build the Tundra with intention of overthrowing the F-150, right? For like the most volume truck. Brandon says, getting a 23 Tacoma SR5 long bed in 3 weeks. Super excited. That is awesome. First car too. That's crazy. That's a really nice first car. $2,000 under MSRP. Love the videos. Keep up the good content. Heck yeah. So I had a Tacoma long bed. Not sure if you were here for the channel with that. It's just a good truck. They definitely look nice when you lift them. That is for sure. They look a little bit funny stock, but a little bit of a lift or just bigger tires, and it starts to look proportionate. But congrats, man. That's freaking awesome. If the Tacoma ends up looking like a baby Tundra, will the new Forerunner look like the baby Sequoia? I hope not. I like the look of the Tundra, and I really like the look of the Sequoia, but I think that the Tacoma, those renders that we saw from Brazil, is shipping up to be the exact same as what the truck most likely will be. And that does look baby Tundra-esque, but it really looks like this truck, just a little bit more modern. I hope that the Forerunner just looks like a more modern 5th gen, because the Forerunner has just really kept this design over the generations. Like the C-pillar right there, you see that right there where my finger's at? The C-pillar has really been like that iconic piece of it. The roll down rear window, like there's aspects on a Forerunner that have just been there since the 1st generation. So I think that if they just make it look like a baby Sequoia, I feel like they're going to miss so many marks with how the Forerunner was like for the last 40 years, right? So I hope the Forerunner is its own thing, is distinguishable as a Forerunner and not just another SUV. Not that the Sequoia is another SUV, but it looks good, but it's not like an evolution of what it was, if that makes sense. Toyota should be making the Sequoia a lot longer. The current Land Cruiser 300 series LX600 Sequoia back seats are too small. The longer one would help compete with Range Rovers. So a Sequoia like XL would be cool. Again, it just depends on the market that Toyota is trying to like aim for as well. But a Sequoia like XL or Grand Sequoia, I think that would be really cool, because the Land Cruiser 300 and the LX 600 are actually shorter than the Sequoia. So the Sequoia is the biggest of those. The rear seat space in the Sequoia is not ideal. Like if it sat a little bit lower and still moved his back as far as it does, it would be perfect. Like it would really be perfect seating. But those batteries underneath do hinder it a little bit. But a Sequoia, like a Grand Sequoia, would be pretty cool. My dealer told me that Toyota is not taking orders. Is that inaccurate? No, that's true. So Toyota is not taking like specific orders. You can say exactly what you want to a dealership, and a dealership will write it down, and you'll just be in this queue, just hopefully waiting for that truck to come to the dealership. So dealerships get allocations right now. Dealerships can order trucks a certain way if they can, but it's basically they get what they get. So that's fairly accurate, unfortunately. I don't see how the Sequoia will compete with the Grand Highlander. The only way it's going to compete with it is for those that want a family SUV that can tow, and also if they moderately like, well, I shouldn't say moderately because it's a beast off-road. And if they like off-road or go off a beaten path with it. Other than that, if you're a city person, there is no reason why you should get a Sequoia at all. There's no reason. You should get a Grand Highlander. You get good gas mileage, good space on the inside, and it'll be comfortable around the city. There's no reason, if you're like a city person with your family and that's literally all you do, why you should get a Sequoia. You only get the Sequoia if you're towing with it or off-roading with it, or you're building it up to be a camping vehicle like with your family or just yourself, whatever. Like that's literally the only reason. Zebra says, can you make more videos about the Taco Tundra? I don't know. I assume that's Forerunner. I'd also like to see more of them in a picture together. I can. The video that I have coming, and it's going to rain potentially the rest of the week, so we'll see. But the video that I have coming talking about like what I do for a living has all the vehicles together in that, at least when I'm, writing out that script and everything. So, or a garage update video, I could do that too for you guys. Andrew says, just sold my 2016 Forerunner and put my name on a TRD off-road Tacoma Lunar Rock. Super excited. But the plan is to sell it for the next gen in like 3 to 4 years. All bugs should be fixed by then. That is a good, proper plan. And hopefully you don't lose a lot of money in the Tacoma, right? Because there will still be buyers for that Tacoma still, 100%. Even if the new one, it may not be what people want. Maybe they don't want a hybrid. Maybe they don't want a 4-cylinder. And yours being the newest of new would be nice. That's the whole reason why my video comparing this Forerunner with the solar octane one outside, why I'm thinking about getting a newer Forerunner, just because people will want the latest technology, the last bit of technology of that generation. So, Ray, what's up, man? How's it going? Jared says, John, just wondering, since you live in Florida, do you really need a heated steering wheel? So where I live in Florida, yes, actually. It does get cold here. Now, before you go to your keyboards, oh, you don't get snow, you don't get this, it's not cold, try living in Michigan. No, thank you. I don't like the snow. But when it goes from 70, 80 degrees to the 40s, it gets cold. This area of Florida is very cold. I live up in the Panhandle. So there's weeks in the wintertime where it's 35, 40 degrees sometimes. So, and it's humid. So it's like wet, cold as well with that. So yes, I use the heated steering wheel on our RAV4 that we used to have. I use the heated steering wheel on our Tundra, the white one that I had. So yes, it's not needed. Like just turn your other heater on, right? But it's a nice feature to have for sure. John Smith, what's up, man? I think that's how you say your first name. Hey, Toyota fan here. Can you please bring back the first generation Toyota Tundra videos? You still have it, right? No, sir. I sold that thing maybe 2 years ago now. I sold that Tundra about 2 years ago. So the first gen Tundra, it was always like my dream build in high school. But when I was in high school, I couldn't build it. And growing up in California, man, like the individuals that had money, they were turning those into pre-runner trucks, like the fiberglass fenders, big old tires, every time I went out to the sand dunes, I saw like a nice truck, like Toyota Tundra like that, with the fiberglass fenders, beadlock wheels. It just looks so good. Long travel suspension. So that was like that truck's goal. But as I looked into it more, I wasn't going to sink 20 grand into a truck that at the time on YouTube wasn't performing well. Granted, we used the truck for truck stuff before I bought that blue Tacoma, but the truck just wasn't getting the views that it should. Ironically, now YouTube algorithm is taking old videos that I did of the truck and like pushing it to people. I get comments on the lift kit all the time for that truck now, 2 years later. But I don't have it anymore. One day I would like to pursue that build, basically make it like a luxury pre-runner. And what that is like, it'll look like a stock truck, but with nice bigger tires, fiberglass fenders that really mold how a first generation Tundra is, leather racing seats inside, a leather wrapped roll cage, heated seats too, right? So if you're out in the sand dunes or wherever with the truck, it's just comfortable and it's a nice truck. I love the first gen Tundra. It's the best Tundra in form of size, how it is. It has a V8, simplicity with it. It's a really good truck. Now my third gen's better for certain reasons, right? But like just an overall package, the first gen is very hard to beat. Here's that link tree if you're still in here. I believe it was Mike. So that is my link tree, guys. If you guys are looking for discounts or anything like that. If you guys are just new, hopping in the live stream, what is up? We are answering some questions about whatever you guys want. We've answered real estate questions here, answered parts questions, dealership questions, all that stuff. So whatever you guys have, let me know down in the comments. We're about 10 minutes behind right now, but that is perfectly okay because I like to give you guys all the time possible for these questions. And we usually let these live streams go about an hour to an hour and a half. So Rhino, what's up, man? I'm stationed at Luke and live in Surprise. Avondale Toyota is the only dealership out here that does MSRP. Great dealership. I know that Jeff Westcott uses one in Prescott, I believe, as well. But yeah, Avondale Toyota, they're huge, dude. That is such a huge dealership. And I don't know if they still have it. But when I lived there and I used to go to that dealership, they had kind of like a wilderness area, like built into the dealership, like with fake trees and all that stuff. It was a very, very cool dealership. But yeah, my house, I loved Luke when I was stationed there. Like Phoenix is such a great place. But my house is like right outside a base right there in the community down Litchfield Road. Nate, still would love to see a Raptor in the future on the channel. A Toyota guy owning a Ford would be interesting. I know. So I almost got a Ford Raptor, guys, at the end of December. So as I was still waiting for the magical Toyota Tundra TRD Pro that I ended up never getting to come in, I was really contemplating just selling my SR5 for a Ford Raptor, having that until my TRD Pro came in, and then comparing the two. But ultimately, we know what I got instead. Life changes, whatever. But I do really like the Raptors. The Raptors are super cool. This one Ford dealership up above me up in Crestview area, they have like 6 on the lot, which means they're overpriced as crap. That dealership is, because they got like 6 Raptors, 5 Broncos at the dealership, a crap ton of F-150s. Like they have so many trucks. Like literally, it's the one dealership that has the most vehicles here I've ever seen in my life. Like, well, in the last 2-3 years. So it means they're overpriced. But I am curious about going in there, maybe like with the Sequoia or something, and just saying, like, seeing how much that they would give me for it, compared, and then like maybe trade it for a Raptor. But I don't think right now is the time for a Raptor. But I would really like one on the channel, especially like a Raptor R. Like that would be sick with the supercharged 5.0 V8 or 5.2. Is it 5.2 or 5.0? I can't remember. Or 5.4. I don't know. Yep, Linktree. Boom. There you go, Michael. Live at the Peak says, I'm curious if the current market is better to lease or finance a Forerunner and solar octane. Do you find the Forerunner to have very slow pickup? So weirdly, I don't know what it is, But this solar octane Forerunner out there has a little bit more pickup than I remember mine having in its stock form. Not a whole lot of dead pedal. It's like a very peppy pedal. So I'm not sure if Toyota changed that in like 2020 when they updated some of the infotainment and the Toyota safety sense and all that stuff, or what. But this Forerunner out here has some pick me up to get up to speed to like 40. Now from 40 to like 60, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, like let's give it some pedal. But just acceleration out of the gate with that Forerunner, it's not bad at all. It actually drives very comfortably. Now you still got a freaking steering wheel wobble, right, at 55 to 62 miles an hour, and the 5th gen Forerunner is like 15 years old. How Toyota hasn't figured that out yet is beyond me. I have no idea. HK, what's up? How are the back seats third row on a Sequoia in terms of space? Would kids be comfortable in the third row? Looked a little tight for adults. So depending on the height of the adult, it's a little tight. I would sit back there for like a 30-minute car ride. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, especially if you have no luggage in the back. Just recline the seats back a little bit, scoot them back. I'd sit back there. I'm 5'11". But it's perfect for kids. Like, kids are meant for a back seat like that. If your kid is under 5 foot, they should not complain at all back there. Even 5'5", like they should not complain back there at all. It would be fine. Chris says, what do you think about the new Colorado or Canyon? I hope the Tacoma is competitive. Dude, it's sweet. It is so sweet. I watched TFL's video from Vegas to Reno. They did that race like that Baja racers accomplished in like 12, 13 hours or something like that. Super cool of Chevy. Like, Toyota, if you're listening, let's do this with the Tacoma. But super cool of Chevy to do a 3-day event with journalists to off-road the shit out of that truck and like just drive through the desert like hundreds of miles every day with that truck. And Andre did a great job like showing all the features that the truck has on the inside, going over differences on the outside and stuff. They got good engine sound too of that 2.7 liter turbo high output that truck has. All the overland modes, the off-road modes, the deflating modes, like the gauge cluster, how that's customizable a little bit. Just, dude, Toyota has a lot to fill with this new Tacoma compared to the Colorado and Canyon. A lot. And I know like we can't talk much now about it, right? Like, oh, Toyota needs to do this with the truck. They need to do that. Like, the truck's done. The truck is done. Like, there's the release date. It's set. There may be some things here and there that they tweak, right? Because they're all going to be prototypes leading up until actual production later this year. But like every feature, everything, like there may be some constructive like software that us journalists can tell them like, hey, maybe add this to it. Oh, that's a good idea. And maybe some things that they can tweak, right, before actual launch. But Tacoma has some like big, not shoes to fill, but like big steps to take to compete with those trucks. Because for the longest time, the Tacoma is just by itself. It was number one in its class. It's still the number one seller right now. But like, if this generation truck was still this generation truck for like another year or two, the Canyon in Colorado would like just sweep it. It would sweep it. Like, so many people would go over to that truck if, you know, Chevy was able to produce as many trucks as they could. So many people would jump ship, I feel like, on Tacoma, or new buyers would go towards the Canyon in Colorado. It's just a great truck. Like, now I can't speak for reliability, right? Whatever. It's, I mean, that 4-cylinder motor was in the Silverado for a while, so it can handle the abuse to an extent. But yeah, Toyota needs to put a front locker in the Tacoma. It needs to have integrated like stuff in the computer system or in the multimedia. It needs to have that stuff. It needs to have easy bed access. Just, it needs to have a lot of stuff to be number one. Brandon says, what lifts do you recommend as for 2 to 3 inches? Have you heard horror stories about rough country? Don't want to sacrifice too much ride quality. So for your Tacoma, dude, I would do a simple Bilstein kit on it. I wouldn't go with rough country if you're going to do like a spacer kit or their cheaper shocks or anything. Not that I'm dissing the company. I haven't personally used any of rough country stuff, but for the longest time, they were the very affordable lift kit. But if you go to like Yota Mafia's website and you just look up like a Bilstein 5100 kit, their RTR kit, Yota Mafia's RTR kit, I have a link in that link tree. I think it's like 1,100 or 1,200 bucks for fully assembled suspension, and it'll give your Tacoma about 1.5 to 3 inches, depending on like how big you want to go with it. And then also keep in mind, if you put bigger tires on your Tacoma, that will also raise it up too, right? So if you do like another inch in diameter, remember that and take that into consideration as well when you're lifting. And then you also said, was that Pro Grill from Yotaverse hard to install? I think it might be my first change. No, super easy. I have a full video on it on my channel that I just did. Very, very easy. Like the most difficult part is when you undo everything up here, like the clamp over at the lights, the clamp over at the lights, the 10 millimeters right here. That felt good. Just pulling it out is like the scariest part because you're just pulling plastic out. But it is really easy to do. Ashwin, what's up, man? Nice Tacoma you got there. Thanks, dude. Thanks, man. How's it going? Hope all's well. MG says, hey, John, if the battery placement is an issue in the Tundra and Sequoia, what will it do with the Tacoma? You'll get a 4-door with only 2 seats. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they would probably put the batteries underneath, right? But if they're using the hybrid max powertrain that like the, well, still, we don't know exactly how the powertrain is going to be. But if it's derived from like the Grand Highlander and the Lexus 500H and the Crown, I believe they're different batteries. I don't think they're the nickel metal hydrate. I think they're different batteries, so they may be smaller than the Tundra and Sequoia. So maybe they have strategic placement for them on the Taco. I don't know. Time will tell. But I'll definitely show that all to you guys for sure when I'm able to see it. Freedom Van says, does anyone know what year they started putting sunroofs in the Forerunner TRD Pro? I do. Because unless someone already answered you, because I'm way behind on these questions, 14 minutes behind. But I know 2019, because mine's a 2018. The very next year, they started to put moonroofs in the freaking TRD Pro. So 2019 and up. Jared says, never knew I needed a hearing steering wheel until I got one. 100% facts, dude. The moment you use it, it's awesome. First mod for my 3rd gen Tacoma TRD off-road. So it depends on what you're going to do, and it depends on what year or model you got. If you have halogen headlights, a very nice first mod is a good headlight upgrade, or interior LED lights. Maybe you want those. Window tint is always a nice mod if you live in a warmer area. More aggressive off-road tires are a nice mod if you plan on off-roading it. You don't necessarily need a huge lift and all that stuff right away, just better tire compound. Those are some of the first ones that I would say. Daryl says, hey, John, I just recently bought my first Taco. I lost my screen. And it's electric lime green. It's a kick-ass color. For sure it is. I agree. What would you suggest be my first one? Oh, boom. I just answered you with Andrews then. So tires, potential upgraded headlights if needed, if they're, you want to do LED. Window tint. I like window tint, even though I didn't do window tint in this Tacoma just because I knew I was selling it. For some reason, I'm okay with it on the Tacoma, but in hindsight, I should have just done the front 2 windows. Yep, the upcoming Tacoma is needed because the rivals, Colorado and Canyon, and the upcoming Ranger are better. Yeah, I haven't seen much on the new Ranger except for the Ranger Raptor. But the new Canyon in Colorado are awesome. The heated steering wheel is by far one of my favorite things on my Tundra. Yeah, use it all the time. It's insane. Hey, John, have you heard about the Toyota Stout? I actually just watched a longer video today about it, and it should be coming soon-ish, like maybe 2024. Hopefully we see the Stout, or hopefully this year Toyota just surprises us with it. And if they do, that means it may be like made in Japan, or they're testing it out there or something like that. But the Stout, I'm very excited for. Fun little city truck, right? Gets good gas mileage. I'm very excited about the Stout. Curious as to what it's going to look like and what platform it's going to be based off of. Ian says, hey, John, when do you think the new Taco will go on sale? I would say like September to December timeframe. So I know that's a big wide gap of like 4 months. But I just don't know how soon they're going to come with the Tacoma. HK says, for overlanding with family and kids, do you think that the Sequoia would be a better build off-road compared to the Tundra? We really want to get a Tundra, but maybe a Sequoia would be better for family with kids. So to me, it depends on how many kids you have and how big they are. For me personally, if I had to pick between the two, and it depends on wheelbase and all that stuff too, and what type of off-roading you're going to do, but I feel like you would have more room in a Tundra because you could have like a bed rack over the back or a shell over the back. You could have all the equipment in the bed of the truck. That way everyone could just sit inside the truck comfortably. You could have a sleeping platform in the bed and a rooftop tent. So mom and dad and kids could be separate. Whereas if it's the Sequoia, you would really be limited to like a rooftop tent, or if you're towing a trailer or something for it. So like you're going to get way more room out of a Tundra. Again, though, it just depends on like how big your kids are, what type of off-roading you're doing. Do you want like an SUV or do you want a truck? But if it was me and I had like a family with kids and stuff and we're going to go adventuring, I personally would probably gravitate a little bit more towards a truck in that regard. USMC later says, finally took delivery of my Taco TRD Pro last Friday. Dude, you're talking about that for a while. Heck yeah, man. That is awesome. Yep, Raptor R version is one to get. David, what's up, man? How's it going? Automotive Press, guys. I know I'm late to this one by like 11 minutes. Hope you're still in here. If you guys want more Toyota content from an engineer's perspective, go over to Automotive Press. Check him out. I just happened to notice your live stream, so dropped on by to say hi. Hope you're doing well, John. You as well, sir. I don't know if you're still in here because that question was from about 11 minutes ago. But thank you, man. Appreciate it. You guys go over to David's channel if you want more insight about Toyota stuff and other vehicles as well. Ian says, hi, John. I drove the Ranger Raptor in Barbados. That with the 4-cylinder turbo diesel and 10-speed. That's a beast. Dude, talk about a torque monster. Holy crap. A diesel and it's 10-speed, so you're always in the torque? That would be insane. Chris says, if you had to drive a Camry or a Prius for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? That's good. Well, again, two ways to go about this. MPGs with the Prius is pretty wild, but you could get a Camry TRD and in that underground color and look like badass too. So this is going to kill me, dude. I may say Prius. I may say Prius in like a dark blue, that dark blue color that they have. Black everything else out. Debadge it because the new Prius actually looks good. So I probably go Prius, dark blue, black everything else out, tint the crap out of it so people can't see me, and call it a day and get 50-something miles per gallon. And it would be the Prius Prime too. That way it would be like EV, best of both worlds. And the new Prius, man, like Prius, people used to dog it, but you cannot deny that the new Prius does not look good. It looks really, really good. We call the Bronco that we have on order the mystical unicorn. One day it'll show itself, right? One day. Oh my gosh, I just heard that the Taco will have a little brother. Is that true? So that is what Toyota is calling the potential Stout. It was a very small truck back in the day, and heavy rumors are Toyota revitalizing that, or rejuvenating, reliving that name and bringing it back. Super, what's up? How's it going? Which Tundra trim should I go for? I narrowed it down to a fully loaded TRD Off-Road SR5, a TRD Off-Road Limited, and a TRD Pro. So to me, a TRD Pro, or I'm sorry, to me, a TRD Off-Road SR5 fully loaded and a Limited are pretty dang close to the same. So to me, it comes down to, do you want ventilated seats and do you want a moonroof potentially? And how close are they on price? Because really, a fully decked out SR5 is going to be nicely color matched. It will have a little bit of chrome, but it'll have the shelf up front too, which is nice. And TRD Pro, you're talking a difference of 10 grand between those. So if I had to pick one and money wasn't an option, I pick TRD Pro just because it'll hold its value. But I wouldn't mind doing a TRD Off-Road SR5 again. The one that I had was fully loaded. It was a great truck. Aside from some first year things that the truck had wrong with it, right? But aside from that, that truck was a very good truck. Patrick says, with the new teaser drop of the JBL speaker, do you think that the new Tacoma will have other of those types of surprises in it? Thanks for your channel. Videos are awesome. For sure. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I think that the JBL speaker will just be on like upper trim levels, because the upper trim levels have the JBL sound system. But I think that the new Tacoma is going to have a lot of like accessories or like user function things to it to make it appeal to buyers over like the Canyon and the Colorado. So I hope that it has a bit of good things, and that Toyota doesn't charge over the like out the butt for it, right? But the new JBL speaker, okay, like it's a little bit corny, but it is cool, right? It's cool that you'll always have a speaker there for if you want to be out on the campsites with it or whatever. I'm hoping that it's like a rechargeable battery too, like you could have a USB out and charge devices while you're camping with it or something like that. Or I mean, it's cool too, not just for camping, but like if you just take your truck to the beach or like you're tailgating or something with it at like a sporting event, and you're like, oh guys, I have a speaker. You know, if you forget the speaker, boom, it's in the truck. So that's pretty cool. I hope it charges in the dash. That would kind of be a miss if it doesn't charge in the dash. I don't see why it wouldn't. But I hope that a few more tricks up the sleeve as well, other than, you know, just a speaker. I'm importing it from the US to the Middle East. Dang, we got a Middle East viewer in here. That is awesome. Toyota doesn't offer full-size pickups here outside the Land Cruiser 70 series. It's more of a workhorse than a daily driver. Then if that's the case and you're importing it to the Middle East, I would go TRD Pro or Limited, just because if you want to sell it in the future, I know people will scoop up a TRD Pro out there. There's this one video that's circulating around of a new Sequoia TRD Pro in the Middle East as well, and it has a Middle East license plate and all that stuff. That's so cool that you guys get to import our cars, but we can't like import in the United States like vehicles easily. But yeah, and that video has thousands and thousands and thousands of views because like it's just something new in the Middle East. Hey, John, what's the biggest tire size you can fit on a stock Sequoia Platinum? So the Sequoia is a bit lower than the Tundra is, but I don't see why you couldn't put 35s on it by like 11.5s or so. But it also depends on what wheel you're going to go with, what's your offset and stuff too. But I would say you could comfortably fit 33s on it. It may rub on 35s with the Sequoia just because it's a little bit lower. But 33 to 34, I think you would be safe. Just keep in mind the offset of your tire or your wheel that you're going to go, and also the width of your tire. Like if you're going like a full 12.5 inch wide tire, it may be cutting it close on the Sequoia. Grits, a new member. How's it going? Thank you for joining again. Automobiles in general are becoming more and more complex. So much is computerized. Do you think Toyota will be able to keep up their excellent long-term reliability? I hope so, and I think that's why Toyota takes so long with a lot of their vehicles, is they R&D it as well. But it's not like there's going to be issues with vehicles no matter what, right? Like even though Toyota is super reliable, it does stink sometimes when technology fails, when these big, huge screens in these trucks go out, when the screen in your dashboard goes out, or you know your wiring bundle talks to 15 systems and one system goes out and they all go out. So, and that's just like any automaker. But hopefully, you know, through the next few decades, right, Toyota is the one that we can trust, because a lot of people have trusted them with technology and stuff, or reliability and stuff for decades. So hopefully they maintain that reputation and don't just fall short like a lot of the other companies do. Because then at that point, like, what do you have? You know, like Toyota's very outdated compared to a lot of vehicles. Even with their newer vehicles, they're still outdated. So if they don't have reliability, like what would make you want a Toyota, right? So hopefully they have that. They start to offer more features, but also still be reliable. If you're driving your Tacoma at 80 miles an hour, or if you're traveling at 80 miles an hour in your Tacoma, how long does it take you to go 80 miles on I-95? I don't know where I-95 is. Grits in Mississippi says 45 minutes or 80 miles an hour. How long does it take you to go 80 miles? So it wouldn't be 45 minutes. If there's no one on the road, 80 hours or an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes. By the way, the 2.4 setup still uses bipolar nickel. Oh, it does. Okay, not lithium ion. Thank you for that. Rolled my 15 Tacoma, walked away, minor injuries thanks to Toyota engineering. Got a 2022 Tundra Limited coming. Best first mod. Well, first off, glad you're still with us and glad you trusted Toyota again for your next vehicle. You're going to love the Tundra. First mod for a Tundra. Center console organizer, because it's a big, huge console. Center console organizer, or floor mats if you're not getting your floor mats through Toyota, because personally I don't really care for the floor mats that came with the carpet floor mats. I would say floor mats would be a nice thing. The ones I have in mind from last fit are pretty good, but the new trucks, man, they come with good headlights. They come with good, well, their interior lights aren't the best, but they're already LED. Man, it's hard. I guess if you want appearance, just maybe a little bit bigger of tires, but the Tundra out of the gate, like it's not that bad. If you're gonna off-road with it, I got these things right here that I need to put on. Got the AFE tow hooks finally, guys. So those are gonna go on the Tundra. Well, I have black ones for the Tundra. These are for the Sequoia. Do lift kits void any warranty? It depends. Manufacturer's warranty. So a lot of manufacturers or the dealerships will say, yeah, but they have to prove that a lift kit failed a warranty. 9 times out of 10, though, it'll void suspension components warranty. Megan says that solar octane looks awesome, but the only thing better than a Forerunner would be to have 2 of them. Shoot, I wish. That'd be insane. Urban Ops, what's up, man? Keep up the good work and don't get another 5th gen Forerunner. You're welcome, David. Of course, man. So here's my thought process on the Forerunner, and I'll make a whole video of it and stuff. So if I sold that Forerunner and got another 5th gen, it would most likely be a 2024. So it'd be like later this year or mid next year, right? Like we would potentially do it kind of like how we did this Tacoma. Got it. Well, this one was used, but got it like this year, like 6 months prior or whenever they announced the 4th gen Tacoma. But we got this anticipation of the 4th gen Tacoma coming. So to build up Tacoma content, bring more Tacoma enthusiasts to the channel, talk everything Tacoma. So that's what I would do with the new 5th gen, like get a potentially a 2024 with like just the last of the options if a 6th gen is coming next year. And just build it, right? Like build it fast, not take a while like we did with that one, but build it, like make it a nice, tasteful OEM plus build. And the reason I would want another 5th gen Forerunner is because a lot of videos that I have on that one, like lighting stuff, interior lighting, certain roof racks that I did in the past, like I did just do the Westcott kit. So that was like a more good updated video, but like taking off the roof rails and stuff of like a TRD off-road, if that's what I elect to get. Just doing videos like that again with better quality that I make videos now, just because the 5th gen Forerunner will be evergreen content for the future. So when someone buys one in 10 years or whatever, and they find a video of me putting on a roof rack or how to take off your intake to put on a different intake, right? Like, and it's an updated video. That's literally the only reason why I would want another 5th gen Forerunner again. It's just for one last build when the 5th gen is still a thing, to make the evergreen content for people. Yeah, that's the only reason why. And to, test out all the new features and stuff. Which color do you suggest for a 22 Sequoia? The Lunar Rock looks good on the 22 Sequoias. I really like the Lunar Rock on it. Or black. Black looks really good on it too. You already have plenty of toys, and the new one will be coming in soon. That is true. That is very true. But we're going to be getting rid of 3 of them. So 2 of them definitely on the chopping block, and then the third one on the chopping block eventually, like around June, July timeframe. Jacob says, how much would you sell your Forerunner for if you had to get rid of it? So I went online the other day, and now granted, I don't know what these are selling for, but I know what they're listed for. But I went online nationwide. There are 3. There are like 3 or 4 Cavalry Blue TRD Pro Forerunners for sale in the nation. So 4 in the nation for sale. If I listed mine, it'd be the 5th. 3 of those, let's just say there were 4, please. 3 of those were completely stock, anywhere from 50 to 80,000 miles. They were listed at like 46 to 48. Insane, right? Listed at that price. I don't know what they're selling for, but they're listed at that price, completely stock, 50 to 80,000 miles or so. If I said a different number, whatever. The highest one I saw was like 80,000 miles. There was a built one with like a roof rack, bumper, 80-ish thousand miles as well, listed for about 48 too. Again, I don't know what people are getting. So my Forerunner has like 35,000 miles on it. It's been garaged its whole life. It's a 1 owner. I'm not sure if those other ones were 1 owners. It does have some blemishes here and there and stuff. So I think that if I was to list mine with all the mods that it has, you know, the bigger tires, the roof rack, the Westcott kit, the front bumper, like, I mean, I could leave everything on it or take it off. I don't really care. I would list it at 52.5 or best offer. Calm down. Or best offer. And then, you know, just see what I get out of it. If I get high 40s for it, I get high 40s. If some, you know, if there's a bidding war and it ends up being 52.5, then it ends up being that. But just from what I've seen of the 4 Forerunner Cavalry Blues that are for sale in the freaking United States, they're asking anywhere from like 46 to 48, at least when I looked 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Don't know what it is now or if they've sold, but I would start mine in the 50s or best offer, and just, you know, being fair about it. Like, I don't need to make a killing on the Forerunner, but I also don't want to undercut myself when there's clearly other vehicles that are being asked like way more and people are paying it, right? Because people don't want all the technology in some of them. That video that I just made of the solar octane versus this, people are saying, nope, I'd rather not have Toyota Safety Sense. So there's people looking for pre-2020 Forerunners because they don't want all the new stuff. But then there's also those that want the new stuff. So hope that answered your question. Logan says, hey, John, absolutely love the channel. I appreciate it, dude. Have you heard anything of the 2024 Forerunner? I would like to trade in my 22 Tacoma before they go away with the 5th gen. What's your thoughts? Thanks. So I believe like 98% sure that the 2024 Forerunner will be a 5th gen again. Don't know exactly if it's going to have any new features or anything like that, but think you would be safe with that regard. Yes, guys, smash the like button if you're still in here. I appreciate it. We'll hang out for about 15 more minutes. We'll do like an hour-and-a-half live stream today, and I am starting to get caught up with all the questions. So again, I like to answer you guys' questions in depth. Usually on average, I'm about 10 minutes behind. So sometimes you guys talk to each other in the comments. That's perfectly fine. But sometimes about 10 minutes behind with your guys' comments. So Vortex says, to lift and a 33-inch tire on my limited 3rd gen Forerunner or not. It's black with 375 kilometers on it. Stock for the most part, besides LEDs throughout, clear corner signals, interior mods. By the way, what's up, John? How's it going, Josh? So I think that if you just put like a tiny little, not a tiny little tire, but like a mild 33 setup, like 285 70-17s. So those are like they're not like true 33s. I don't think so. Depends on like how, like if you're 70 or 75s. But I think that those would be good on it. And if you keep them on the stock wheel too, oh, such a good look. Like some of my favorite looking vehicles are the older Toyotas with stock wheels, just completely stock, like looking, but with just a slight smidge of a very good lift on it, with bigger tires, but the whole truck looks stock. Man, talk about a clean setup. That's awesome. And it's black too. Dude, if that paint is in like good condition as well, good looking vehicle. Why is the Grand Highlander taking so long? So It's a 2024 Grand Highlander. So I believe, isn't it a 2024, or did we say it's a 2023? Is it supposed to be 2024 or 23? Toyota is saying that it is a 2024 Grand Highlander. So that means that it will come out this year as a model year 2024. So when Toyota does stuff, right, like the Tacoma that we have coming out, it's going to be a 2024 Tacoma. They're not making it right now. They're making it later in the year, because whenever automakers make that model year, it's towards the tail end of that previous year. So it's not taking long to come out. Like, it's already been revealed. It's already been showed to us. We know a good amount about it, but it should be out for the public like last quarter of 2023. So it should still be on schedule. Like I said, I'm driving it next month or so. So we'll get to have driving impressions and stuff. Not sure how long that's embargoed for. Typically, when we do driving impressions of vehicles, we get the pricing and MPGs and stuff too. Toyota already gave us the manufacturer's estimated MPGs for it, but they haven't given us like the real world, actual legit, like, hey, this is what they said the MPGs are. So hopefully we get all that next month. Again, I'm not sure how soon I could share that information with you guys, but it's coming up. So we'll definitely have more Grand Highlander content on this channel next month, because when I first got the content for it, it was a very, very quick turnaround, right? Like, it was, hey, here's the event. Here's your, I think I only got like 15 or 20 minutes with the vehicle. Luckily, I got to go film the other one. And then they had the release party that night with the Grand Highlander. So while everyone was, well, I shouldn't say everyone, while a lot of people were drinking and having fun and just BSing and stuff, like, I was doing the live stream for you guys and everything, because I knew that that was my only time really with the Grand Highlander. And then, of course, it was at the DC or the Chicago Auto Show that I went to as well. So then I made more content with it, because I didn't know that I was going to get to go to that. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Wait. Was that at Chicago? Oh, that was Chicago. Wait, was it? I don't know. My brain's all in a fog right now. If Toyota trucks go full EV, will you still be getting them? We'll definitely have some older projects on the channel, right? That's for sure. Yeah, that was the Chicago Auto event, like, with all of that. Huh. Anyways, but yeah, well, I mean, I would get one or a couple, just to see how it is, but it's kind of boring for content, no? And not that EVs are boring, but like, how much can you really do? Like, you can modify them and stuff. I mean, I guess if it gets to the point where EVs, you can travel more with them, the infrastructure's there and everything. My thing about EVs is I don't like how much it kills the earth. Like, for mining for them and everything. Like, I get that gas also does that in a sense too with our ozone. So like both aren't great, but I just hate how much EVs you really have to like dig into the earth and mine for like a full EV vehicle. I like prime vehicles, like what Toyota does with their prime vehicles. They give you like 40 to 80 miles, depending on the vehicle, right, of like EV range. And then after that, now you're hybrid. So I like that with Toyota's products, the more prime stuff. So if it's like a prime EV truck, I'd be more okay with that than like a full EV truck. But again, I'm not totally against it. I just don't like the push for EV vehicles right now when the infrastructure is not there. I mean, look at California. Born and raised from California. I could talk crap about it if I want. Like, pushing so much for EVs there, and they have rolling blackouts every single summer. Their infrastructure is not ready for it. Like, their energy grid just can't handle it. But it's inevitable, right? Like, people think that gas and diesel is just so bad for the world, but EVs also aren't the best either. But I mean, I'll get one, right, just to see what it's about. But I don't know. I did drive the Rivian. The Rivian was a solid, fun truck. It's a very expensive truck, but it hauled butt. It cornered really well. It's a very cool thing that Rivian is doing. But that was like my real only EV experience with a truck. I've driven the Toyota's BZ4X. BZ4X, right? Is that the name of that electric car that Toyota has? I've driven that. That was weird, but it was nice. Jared says, hey, John, do you think there will be a significant price hike on the new Taco? I think about like 5,000 to 8,000 for the new Tacoma. It's been an hour. Yep, it's been an hour. We got like 10 more minutes, guys. We'll go an hour and a half, hour 45 or so. The Tacoma held up amazingly well for being upside down. Thanks. Dang, that's crazy, man. Just picked up a new Tacoma Trail Edition. Considering PPF for the front, is it worth it? Depends on the shop that does it, how much it's going to be. This Tacoma, when I bought it, God dang, dude, I keep hitting my elbow. This Tacoma, when I bought it, it has PPF up until the snorkel right there, or the fake hood vent right there. So it's fine. Like if it comes with it, if it's going to cost like $2,000 or whatever to have the whole front end PPF, I don't know about that. That may be expensive for me. I don't know. Where I live in Florida, it depends on where you live too. Where I live in Florida, we don't have many rocks, so I don't have PPF or anything like that on my Forerunner, and there is really no chips on the front. There's self-induced scratches, but there's no like rock chips or anything like that. Have you been able to find the TRD Pro lift kit for the Tundra from Toyota? When I asked my dealer about it, they said it isn't available for sale anymore. Don't know why, unless they pulled it from their shelves. But the Sparks Parts is selling them cheap. So whenever I'm in the Toyota page on Facebook, people say that Sparks Parts, Sparks Toyota Parts or whatever it is one of the cheapest places to get those right now, because people have their dealers quoting them like $8,000, right? Insane. Saying that the kit costs $3,000-$4,000 plus labor, but you can get it at Sparks Parts for significantly under that. Good idea to trade a 19 Taco double cab with 30,000 miles on it for a 21 Tundra Crew Max with 55,000 miles, both TRD off-road, Tundra SR5 with that package. So it depends on pricing, right? Like if they're giving you a very fair price for the Tacoma and you're also getting a very fair price for the Tundra, yeah, sure, why not? The MPG on that Taco is going to be a lot better. I shouldn't say a lot, but a bit better than the Tundra will, but you're going to get a ton more power from that Tundra, a ton more inside space. Oh my gosh, a crew cab, holy crap. But with it being the Crew Max though, you're definitely going to get a shorter bed, but you're going to get a longer bed or a wider bed, which is nice, and a deeper bed. So the double cab long bed Taco is nice for functional stuff. But I think that you'll enjoy how big the Tundra is on the inside. Taylor says you need a bigger garage. I know. The goal one day is to have some land with a bigger garage. That way I can have project vehicles taken apart in the garage, like the Tacoma. I need to put all this stuff on it, and I always have to play musical cars to move stuff out of the way. I have boxes all over the place. Our gym over here that we have, it's become storage right now with all the parts that I've gotten. We got the Westcott tire rack right there, the rock sliders, front bumper for the Tacoma, Go Rhino stuff right here, skid plates for the Tacoma. So like I am organized to where I can put a lot of stuff up in the attic when I'm done with it. But like when all these boxes finally got here at one time, and then we also have like Airbnb stuff over there. We got 3 beds and boxes over there, mattresses, end tables. So like I need a bigger garage. I need a freaking, I don't know, 40 by 80 or something like that. Omar, subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel, dude. All Toyota stuff here. Installs, car reviews, Lexus stuff too. Can't wait for more stuff in the future to bring you guys. Like there's a lot of stuff coming from Toyota. I don't know everything. Right? But I do know certain things are coming on certain dates. And I do know that things are getting, I keep wanting to say remodeled because my mind is on remodeling our Airbnb right now. But new generations of things are coming. And I have people telling me like, hey, big time for Toyota with a lot of models coming. I'm just going to keep saying remodels coming and stuff, new models coming. So I appreciate it, man. All right, last few questions, guys. Going to catch up with all these, and then we're going to head out for the night. Were you always into Toyotas? If not, what made you a fan of their trucks or their vehicles? So my very first vehicle was a 95 Forerunner. So my mom had a old Celica, before that a Celica GT. My dad had a Toyota pickup, but like we grew up with Chevys and Fords. We had Suburbans, Duramax diesel Chevys, Ford F-150s. So we grew up with like domestic and Toyotas as well. So I've been a fan of Toyotas. Sold that Forerunner for a Silverado, and then sold that Silverado for this Forerunner. Made a YouTube video about it because it was the TRD Pro. It freaking took off. YouTube started paying me like $10 a month. Companies started sending me products to put on the Forerunner. Then the channel just grew. Then I got an invitation to go to the Tundra event. Like that was my very first event that I went to. And then things just skyrocketed from there. And I just enjoy the community that Toyota has around it. I know other automakers and other brands too, or other things that you're into, right? Like whether you're in the racing scene or you're in the truck scene, like with Chevys, or you're in the diesel scene with like Ford or Chevys or Cummins or whatever. Like I know there's a scene for all that, but I really do like the Toyota scene. So that's just what has kept me here. I'm not like totally against other brands. I enjoy cars and everything like any guy would, or any car enthusiast would, right? Like I love cars. So I do enjoy other brands too. It's just this channel is specifically built around Toyota. Have you ever used any up top products? I have not, but I've seen them in person when I was at SEMA running for tacos. They had it, I believe, on their Tundra, and it looked like super quality stuff. I really appreciate how in-depth you go with answering the questions. Heck yeah, I appreciate that. I try to. I get behind, like we're 12 minutes behind now, but I try to, guys. You guys are taking your time, so I'll take my time. William says, have you ever heard anything about the model year 2024 TRD Pro color? Is it possibly the brown or green that we saw in the taco teasers? So someone in this chat said that it may be called Terra. I don't know. That sounds potential because we've seen green and we've seen brown, or if that's just like the color combo of the two, maybe that's a code name or something like that. Who knows at this point? But I think it may be the green. We may have been shown the green Tacoma that I falsely said. Well, I shouldn't say false because I don't know, but I potentially wrongly said that that was the Trail Hunter in my last video. I think that that was the TRD Pro color because the Trail Hunter was just clearly a brown. And I'm not sure with that too, if the Trail Hunter will have its own special color and the TRD Pros will have their own special color. Hey man, hope all is well. I'm driving a 22 Tundra on manual mode in the gear 10, and somehow the same driving, I'm getting 19.6 miles per gallon. Have you tried this yet? I have not. So my new Tundra, I'm getting crap mileage still. Granted, I haven't done a full freeway drive with it, but my new Tundra, I'm around 18 right now. A lot of city driving though, so I'm okay with it. And we've been towing with it and stuff, but I'm around 18 with mine. I haven't really tried manual mode though. Hopefully the cab is bigger. Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I hope it is too. Lexus needs to seriously accelerate their production or product cadence. The competition is churning out new models while Lexus sedans are stuck in the 2010s. Yeah, but they got a 5.0 V8 though, and that IS 500, right? No, I agree. There are new Lexuses definitely coming. So that new RX, the new, I believe the UX, the NX, the new LX5 or the LX600, new GX on the way too. Like rumors starting to spread around that. The rumors about the TX, I believe, is the name of the Lexus Grand Highlander variant. So Lexuses are coming. Not really sure what Lexus's thing is with their cars yet, because like the new LC 500 is getting the updated infotainment screen, which means they're going to keep that longer. So not 100% sure. I do like the Lexuses, man. Like the past couple press vehicles I've had from them, they've been awesome. Got some clean 05 Sequoia wheels to throw on. Oh, nice. Did a full paint correction myself last summer. Appreciate it, Johns. I'll check. Yeah, for sure. I mean, check them out. But if you're going to put some OEM Sequoia wheels on with those tires, just keep in mind your upper control arms. They may potentially touch. And spacers are fine. After using wheels with offset, I prefer not to go with spacers. I did run spacers in the past, but wheels with offset is the best way to go. Maybe look at some like they call them SEMA wheels, but like some TRD, like you can get TRD Pro wheels like my Forerunner has, but they're aftermarket ones with like wider offset, and they're wider wheels too, to give you a potential stance for your truck as well. But yeah, the 285 70 17s, they should work on that with no problem. Love your channel. First time I've caught it live. Keep up the good work. Heck yeah, Sean. I appreciate it. We try to do them every Wednesday around 7 o'clock Central Time. Any plans on visiting the Middle East? So I was in Chicago. I'm not sure where the Middle East starts and the Midwest starts, because Midwest starts like very East Coast, in my opinion, like from me being from the West Coast. But I'll be going to New York, I believe, in June. And that's all I got for right now. I'm not really sure if that's considered East Coast. That ain't really in the Middle East, huh? Where's Middle East more? Like Missouri kind of area? Is that more considered Middle East, or is that Midwest still? I don't even know. Can't wait for May. Face fuchsia wide eyes. Oh, that must be a emoji. And this thing may not do emojis. Yeah, man. May with the Grand Highlander stuff. It's gonna be awesome. More content coming for sure. No, 80 miles an hour for 80 miles is an hour. Oh yeah, stupid. And then back to this, because my wife just texted me and I'm a freaking idiot because you were just talking about this, Super. The Middle East. Sorry. I was thinking of Mid-East. Yes, I know. I know what you mean now because my wife just messaged me about that. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, because we were literally just talking about this. That'd be awesome. I've always wanted to go to UAE area. I'm sorry. I'm just so focused. Like everyone here is from the United States. That's not the case. I think it'd be cool to go out there. It'd be really cool atmosphere. I wouldn't mind it. All your guys' vehicles out there too, just seeing like the Toyota vehicles, just like hauling butt up the sand and everything, just to like go out there into the dunes and stuff. I think that would be really cool. Sorry about that. I'm an idiot. Maybe that's why I was confused where that is in the United States. Freaking dumb. But yeah, that'd be sweet. I have a 18 Crew Max Limited 4-wheel drive TRD off-road. It's huge inside. Yeah, so if you're upgrading from the Tacoma to that, it's insane inside. It's so crazy. And then last question. You guys have any more, just fire them in real quick, but this is the last question for the night. Thanks. That's what, oh, it's more of a statement. I have 2 girls who fit fine in the Tacoma for now, but the Crew Max would be nice. MPG is a small worry. I had a 2000 Ram 1,500 years ago, 12 to 14. Yeah, the Tundra will be pretty much on par. And then for the Forerunner build, running spacers right now, I'll keep in mind the offset. Heard mixed opinions on spacers, undecided. Upper control arms needing an upgrade, and lower ball joints just in case when I go this route, for sure. And like, if you get the hub-centric spacers for Toyotas, as long as you like are keeping an eye on them, if your steering wheel like starts to wobble every now and then, like just make sure everything is torqued down still properly, because you know stuff is attaching to this, it's attaching to your hub, and then attaching to the wheel. So you have like 3 things moving. Just make sure that it's a little like put together well. Nothing wrong with spacers. I had the Spider Track spacers on mine. You start going wrong when people start going cheap spacers too, and really oversized tires. But if you're just being casual with it with 285s, I think it should be okay. The Silver Lake Sand Dunes, yep, in Michigan. I wouldn't mind going there. And shout out to my wife. That's why I married her, right? Because she's freaking educated and I am not. But the Silver Lake Sand Dunes would be sick. I may make that my way up there too. That would be nice, especially when it's cool and stuff as well. No problem, Super. Appreciate you stopping by. Good luck on the vehicle purchase as well. And then dealerships still have markups on Forerunners, trying an off-road premium, 5K markup. Sad. Yeah, I mean, if you can shop out of state, if possible, if it makes sense, you know, to buy it out of state, fly wherever you have to fly, drive it back home. If that offsets your time and money, it may be better. But there's plenty of dealerships right now selling a variety of vehicles, $2,500, $5,000, $6,000 under MSRP. It's starting to come back. I feel like dealers are just trying to get the last bit of those people that want to pay above MSRP. So if you need it, man, it's hard. Or if they're going to give you 5K more than what your vehicle is worth for a trade-in, then sure, whatever. But if they're not willing to play ball with you and they want you to play ball with them, I don't think so. Hey, John, what do you think of spacer lifts on a first gen Sequoia? So if you can afford more than a spacer lift, I would try to go with that. Just because a lot of spacer lifts out there just depend. Well, it depends if your truck is 4-wheel drive, because a lot of the spacer lifts out there, it's just really bad for their CVs. Like, it's really putting pressure on the suspension and stuff too. But if you're just casually driving it on the road, it may not be horrible. But I try to go against spacer lifts if possible. If you can do like a solid like Bilstein 5100 kit or a very simple like OME nitro charger kit or something like that, like a budget kit, I'd try to go with those if you can versus a spacer lift. But if you're just cruising around on the streets and it's a 2-wheel drive Sequoia, then you may be okay. Just really watch out for your CV angles and stuff when going with that. Heck yeah, there you go. Have a great night, man. Appreciate it. Are 6112s a good value, or should I wait to save up and go with Fox? 6112s are a very good value for what they are. Nice tall shocks, good rebounds and everything. So 6112s are good. That's also what Yoda Mafia is going to be doing for an RTR kit. And if we're able to do it for the Tundra soon, because I need to put a lift and tires on the Tundra soon, then I'll most likely be going with 6112s for the Tundra. I appreciate it, Brian. Thank you so much. And then last question, guys. We'll just wrap it up here with Brian's question. Thoughts on the Westcott Forerunner Pro lift, leaning towards that for my 21 Pro in Lunar Rock. So I would go with that. It's not bad. So I know we just talked about a spacer lift, but Westcott kit isn't really a spacer lift. It's a little bit different than that because you're moving everything up in the way that it should be. You're like following the manufacturer's kind of specs. You're just manipulating it a little bit with height. But the Forerunner should run pretty good. I have the Westcott kit on mine with the Bilsteins. It rides pretty much stock still. And the Fox shocks that you have in your Forerunner are way better than my Bilstein kit. And I know I said last question, but Overland, you sent yours in literally as I was saying it. So last question, do you have any idea of a check engine light turning on when going uphill? My 98. Didn't you ask this one last week? I can't remember if you did. That has an issue I can't scan. I can't remember if you asked this last week. But going uphill, someone asked a question very similar to this last week because I remember the story that I was going to say. My 95 Forerunner, when it was going uphill, it had a lot of issues sometimes. But again, potential head gaskets. I can't remember if we talked about this, or it may be a fueling thing. Maybe it thinks that it's not getting fuel or something. I'm not 100% sure about that for you, man. But hopefully we get it figured out, right? But guys, I appreciate it so much. I will hopefully catch you guys next week, but I am prepping for the Toyota Jamboree and not sure if I'm going to have time with installing last minute stuff with the Tacoma, and then potentially, just getting videos done and hanging out with family before I go camping for like 3-4 days. So maybe a couple days off or a couple weeks off from the live stream, but if we're able to squeeze one in next week before I go, it may not be on a Wednesday. Maybe we'll just aim for Tuesday or something like that. But that would be the plan for next week. So guys, I appreciate it. Brian, Overland, Golf, everyone, Vortex, thanks guys. Just your last comments that I see. So guys, have a great rest of your week and more videos to come and everything, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Thank you.